Hey guys, welcome to DevOps School. In this video tutorial, we are going to teach you about Jenkins, which is a very popular continuous integration tool. After going through this tutorial, I promise you that the concept and understanding of the Jenkins will be absolutely clear to you. But before we begin, let me inform you few things about us. DevOps School is one of the leading platforms which offers DevOps, cloud and containers technology training and certification programs for freshers and established professionals who wish to update and consolidate their skills in the dynamic IT scenario. We ensure that the training solutions are delivered by highly experienced domain experts with practical working experience in various verticals. You can join our all training programs globally through online platforms, and if you're looking for classroom workshop, then we have regular batches available in Hyderabad and Bangalore. Check out the dates and enroll with us for our upcoming batches. For more info, link and contact details are mentioned in the description below.
Okay, so as part of the Jenkins Advance, what are the topics we are going to talk about? So yes, you can suggest me some of the topics, but I'm going to take some of the topics as usual. So I'm going to talk about the Jenkins security, okay? Security with the Jenkins. So this is the stuff which I'm going to talk about. Jenkins backup, I'm going to talk about. Jenkins restore, I'm going to talk about. Restore. Jenkins command line, I'm going to talk about. Okay. And options. Jenkins users and group, I'm going to talk about Jenkins users and group. Okay, now apart from that, I'm going to also help you with let's say what could be added here. Any suggestion from you guys? Jenkins backup, restore, users, security, command line. Okay, best practices which we can discuss. Okay, and things like that, and plugins. Okay, so these are the things which I'm going to talk about. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to install the Jenkins. So let me get install the Jenkins. So I'm using Red Hat Linux Enterprise 7.5 in AWS with 4 GB of RAM, and also here I have to add notes. How can you do the notes management? So these are the topics I talk about now. So 30 GB hard disk is sufficient for me, and let's grab it. Launch it. Okay, so this is Jenkins server. Okay, now let me grab your IP address and new session auth final.ppk and open. Okay, so I got this login here. I'm going to install it. Install the Jenkins in RHEL 7.5. So what you have to do, you have to go to devopsschools.com tutorial Jenkins. Okay, so go to that. So Jenkins, which is here. And installations and configuration. Again, in these instructions you can get it on the Google Jenkins.io website also. But here is just for the quick thing, so that these steps are compiled, so you don't have to struggle it here and there. Okay, so I install the wget and then it's being installed. After that, I'm downloading the JDK. Okay, being downloaded now. And it's almost done now. installing the RPM. Java browser. Okay, so now it's installed. Now let me get it here and add the keys. Now my Jenkins is ready to install. Yum install Jenkins, which is here. Yes. And after that, I'm going to start the Jenkins. So package is being downloaded. Let's wait for that. Okay, so almost installations is getting completed. Okay, so now got completed. Now I'm going to start. Jenkins got started, and now I'm going to verify using this command. The Jenkins got started or not. You can see that this is Jenkins var and logs, port, and all other information Jenkins. So it's cool. So now let's access the Jenkins. So what is the IP address? So IP address is here, and we know that Jenkins get started with 8080 port. Now I have to keep the password, which is here, and and okay, install suggested plugins quickly. So now plugins being installed. It will take few seconds. And also I can help you in terms of Jenkins pipeline using pipeline plugins. So those are the things I will complete. Okay, so I filled it, and my Jenkins is ready for you. Okay, so first question first, what we are going to do, we are going to discuss about the Jenkins security. So in terms of Jenkins security, there's a two aspects here: authentication, authentication, and authorization. Okay, first thing, in a simple way, when you say authentication, how to access Jenkins? How to access Jenkins? Okay, how to log in, basically how to log in Jenkins. Now authorization part, who has what access? Okay, that is the things we are going to do in terms of Jenkins security. So if you want to work with the Jenkins security and also Jenkins group is somewhere interrelated, you have to go to the manage Jenkins. Okay, configure global security, that's the option which you have to see. Before that, if you look at this configure credentials, this is the place, any password which you store, you can see it here, you can view, you can modify all these things, you can do that. So any password which you want to store, the password keys, if you look at this here, you can add a new item. Okay, and sorry, not here, credentials here, and from here I don't think so you are able to add a domain. You can add a domain. Okay, it's a domain, but password you can fill from the form, which is like, say I'm creating one form here, and if you want to fill the password, which is, let's say, get, so here you can add credentials, so you can add as many credentials you want. Okay, and all the credentials you will be having here. Okay, so here will be list of credentials. As of now, there is no credentials available, so that's the reason you don't have it. Okay, so that's one of the things. But again, back to the manage Jenkins, the one which we are talking about, the Jenkins security, authentication, and authorization, which is here, basically configure global security. In the configure global security, first thing you have to decide how to access, how to enable Jenkins access. So in terms of authentication, Jenkins support, these are the options. Let's discuss one by one. These are the options. Okay. And okay, so this is the one option, this is the second option, this is the third options what we have, and this is the fourth option. So whichever you want, you can go for this. Here, delegate to servlet containers. So servlet container means any login mechanism which is external to Jenkins. For example, maybe you are trying to enable any user who is having Gmail ID or something like that, or Twitter or LinkedIn or anything as such. Then you can enable this one. You can go for this one. This is not recommended. The one which is default right now, Jenkins own user database. That means Jenkins should manage their own users, a database of the users and group. So that is the one thing which is selected by default. Here allows users to sign up. That means you are enabling the system to in which the users will be able to sign up automatically. The next one is will be LDAP. LDAP, which includes like you have to give the LDAP access, all the access, and then test the LDAP setting after giving all the things here, and then you can configure Jenkins security with LDAP also. And last one, which like you can also allows Unix user and group to be used as a Jenkins users and group. So how can you do that? So basically here, the place where you have installed the Jenkins server, same place you must be having the list of tables of users and group that can be also enabled. Most of the time, in terms of realistic practical examples, I've seen like either Jenkins is associated with the Jenkins own user database or LDAP. So this is the things which you do. So these are the 4 security realm which helps you to allow to authenticate Jenkins. Okay, you can select whichever you want. Now, I would like to also show you one more thing here. If you go to the Jenkins, manage Jenkins, and then here manage users, here you can see the list of users which is maintained by the Jenkins database. Okay, so if you have selected Jenkins own user database, so these are the users which you have. So you can create as many users you want it from here also. Okay, so you can create users, give the username, password, confirm password, email access, and all. So let me do one thing. As of now, we have Prakash, Ram, and Suresh Reddy. So let me create one of your ID, Prakash. Okay, so this is the id. I must save it somewhere, so let me save it here. Okay, and Prakash 123 is a password, Prakash 123 is password, Prakash K is a full name I'm putting, and Prakash at the rate of google.com. So this is the email address I created. So this is the user I have created. Now this user will be able to log in to the Jenkins. So now what I do here, I go and trying with a different browser now, and here I've created Prakash and Prakash 123 sign in. Now you see that it got sign in. Okay, here, and after the sign in you can do whatever you want here. So now this is the way you can also create a user and assign access to the Jenkins. Now that's one of the things which you can try it out here. So now the one which is selected like here, Jenkins own user database. You can go for LDAP also, that's good and recommended. Now things like who will do what, like which user has a what access. So how do we decide it? How do we decide it? So here Jenkins allows you to give the 5 options, 6 options here. If you look at this here, anyone can do anything. In this case, there is no login required basically. Without login itself, you can do anything. So for example, let's say I have a logout. Okay, here I just did the logout, and here I selected this one. Okay, anyone can do anything, and save it. Okay, okay. Now if you go and refresh, see here, without login itself, you are able to do everything. Okay, but that's not a good thing. So here I will go to the option which is called legacy in user. Logged in user can do anything. So here, legacy mode, let's not talk about, is out of context. So here, logged in user can do anything. That means anyone who's logged in can do anything. So now here, right now, if you see that, if I refresh, I have to apply, refresh again. See, suddenly the create options all has gone suddenly. And why these options you are able to see? Because here you allow anonymous to read access. Because of this anonymous to read access, this is there. So if you disable this one also, refresh, see, it's gone. So now what you have to do, you have to log in. So now log in again with the Prakash. So let's do the login again with the Prakash. Prakash123, sign in. Okay, now here any logged in user can do anything. As per this setting, if you logged in, you can do everything, including the admin. But this is not recommended again. So the one which is recommended is matrix based security. Okay, in the matrix based security, what can be done here? Each user you can assign access to do what exactly that can be possible. So let's say, if you, let me tell you here, you have to be a little bit very careful about it. If you enable the matrix based security or project based matrix authorization strategy, you need to make sure that at least one user is added as a admin, others you will lock the uh, Jenkins forever. Okay, so right now I'm adding one user, Rajesh Kumar, and I'm giving administrator access. So at least that is not lost. Okay. Now you can give the administrator access, uh, anything related to credentials. So administration means all that. But if you want someone to create only credentials, or if you want someone to create, build, edit, delete only agent or job or run and view, accordingly you can decide. See here, it's a nice table in which you can decide read, delete, create, and configure and stuff like that. So this is a also option which you can try it out. Okay, so right now what I did, I added Rajesh Kumar default and then apply, so that way locking will not happen. So I just did it. Now again refresh it. Okay, log out. See, I just did log out, and if I have to log in right now, so Prakash123 here. Now I have no access actually. Overall missing read and write access. Why? Because what I selected matrix based security, in which Prakash is not having any access. So what to do? You can add access. So I'm adding Prakash. Now Prakash, what access you want? Let's say you want to give the only the job access or only the agent option. You select this one, and you are not giving the create access. So I'm not giving the Prakash create job access. Okay, and apply. Okay, now refresh, log out, access denied. View has to be everything, and jobs, agents, read, apply. So now you got it here. But if you see that here, I cannot create any jobs. Prakash cannot create any jobs right now. What to do? If you give this access, apply. Now Prakash will be able to create a job also. New item has come. I can create a job. So like that, you have to do the access management. So here, as again back to the topics, in terms of authorization, authentication, Jenkins allows, these are the options, out of which these two are recommended for all the enterprise and all the places. And out of authorization, you have Jenkins has given you anyone can do anything, legacy mode, logged in users can do anything, matrix based security, and here you can add the user, and accordingly you can do the permissions and stuff like that. Here not only you can add the user, you can add the groups also of LDAP, distribution list and stuff like that. Okay, any questions? Any questions?
Suresh has raised a question in the chat.
Okay,
He's
so
asking
he
about
says,
the locking option.
yeah, so locking option. So locking option is like this. Let's say you have decided matrix based security. and you have not added at least of one user, in that case what's saying Jenkins will be logged out, and in that case what you have to do, you have to modify this file. So if I go here, where is my Jenkins installed? So my Jenkins is installed in this location. Okay, you have to go to this location, cd var lib Jenkins, and there's one file which is called config.xml. Here, config.xml. The config.xml is one option which is called user security true. What you have to do, you have to make false this user security, make false, and restart the Jenkins. That way you disable the login authorization and authentication. So that is the way in which, if you are locked out, Jenkins you are not able to access, you have to make it false and then access the Jenkins. Is that clear? Is that clear? Clear? Okay. So next topic which I'm going to talk about is Jenkins backup and restore process together. So basically, there's so many method which you can use to take a backup and all. So let me help you to understand what exactly you take a backup. Okay. So basically in Jenkins, anything which is being stored in the XML file. Okay. That's important. Okay. So if you see that in this directory also, anything related to the configurations and stuff like that, here you have XML file. Okay. This XML file is very, very important. Okay, which has the information about your Jenkins jobs, Jenkins setup, Jenkins servers and all. So if you want to see the XML file of the job, so let me show you here. Right now you see is only DDD job. Inside the DDD you have a config.xml. This is the XML which includes all the configuration what you do in the DDD job. Okay, so whatever you write here, okay, let's say I'm writing something. So before that I'll show you the config.xml. See here, this is a very small config.xml. Suddenly what I do, I added some stuff like, let's say Maven, some goal like a compile or something. It will not work, but just for the demo I just saved it. And now again if you refresh, see it has added this one. Okay, so basically everything you write in Jenkins is been stored in the XML file. The location of the XML file is a different. Okay, again you need to understand. So in a simple way, if you have an XML file, you can replicate the same thing as many times you want it. Okay, again if you look at the users table, users directory, here you have, see, Prakash, Rajesh, Kumar. Let's go and Rajesh, Kumar, Prakash, you got it here. So now here again is XML file for this. So in a nutshell, everything in Jenkins is being stored in the XML file. So now if you take a XML file backup, you can restore anytime. That's the one way. But the question is, how can you take a backup? So now if you go to my tutorial, devoschools.com/tutorial, okay, and now Jenkins here. And in the Jenkins, if you go to the tutorials in which I'm going to talk about the backup mechanisms, right? So here, if you look at the backup here, so here I have written many method and processes in which you can do the backup. So these are the 4 kind of backup which you can do that. But for time being, one of the method which I'm going to talk about, which is not there probably here, and that is called using thin backup. Okay, so there's one plugin which is called thin backup. Okay, thin backup. Okay, so now let me do one thing. Let me show you the backup and restore easily by the thin backup. So how to do that? Let's go to the Jenkins, manage Jenkins. Again, to install the plugins, you have to go to the manage plugins, available plugins, and here you just type thin backup. Again, there's so many other backup plugins also. It's up to you which one you want to use it. This is one of the one which I use it quickly just for the demo and just for the quick backup. So install without restart. Yeah. So I just did the install without restart. Thin backup is being done. It's completed. Now you have to configure it. In order to configure, you have to go to the manage Jenkins, and here this is the option, thin backup. Okay, and under the manage Jenkins, you get it in backup. Now, first time if you are, because you are using, so instead of clicking backup now or restore, you have to setting up. So setting up basically where you want that backup to be done. So the backup normally it can be done in the external drive, okay, so which is mount in your system, and it's always good practice to do that. So now what I'm doing right now, because I don't have any external drive and all, I'm putting in the temp directory. So what I do, mkdir backup, and now I'll give the all the permissions. So Jenkins, remember Jenkins process runs as a Jenkins user, so you have to assign this directory should be owned by the Jenkins, but right now it's in this machine there is no Jenkins thing user. So what I'm, let me check, the Jenkins user must be there if it is. So let me check ch own hyphen r Jenkins, okay, and backup, okay, ch own is it capital R? Yeah. So now if you see that this guy backup is that here, it's owned by the Jenkins. Look at this here. Okay, there's some temporary file is being written by Jenkins in temp directory. You can also look at this here, hs per data, but here I care about this one. So now here you got the access, you create the directory where you want to take a backup, you give the access also and put it here. Now if you want to set this backup at based on the schedule here, you can put the cron tab, all that is also possible. Cron here, how many number of sets you wanted, all this thing, what are the other additional backup you wanted, so you can do whatever you want. You want to take a plugin backup, a user content backup, build archive backup, and all this thing which you, if you need it, but if you don't need it, don't check it unnecessarily. It will create the size bigger and then save it. After that, once I'm set up, you can take a backup. You can also enable based on the crons, automatically it will be enabled, but here I did manually. So the moment I did manually, let's look at this here. See, backup got created. Inside that, there's only one, I had only one job, so I got the only one job backup. Okay, now what to do if you want to go and delete, let's say delete this guy. Okay, some accident has happened and you deleted the project. So what to do now? So you have to go set up a new Jenkins. Okay, set up a new Jenkins, set up a new thin plugin, and say go and restore the one which you wanted. If you have one more backup, you get the more list. As of now, I have only one backup, and then restore. And after the restoring also, you will not be able to get it. So what you have to do, either you have to restart the Jenkins, or quick solution what you can do, manage Jenkins configuration for this. So you can also do this one. Okay, now Jenkins is very small, so it will not take much time, but if the Jenkins is large, it will take much time. See, you got the Jenkins. So like that, you can do the backup and restore also without any problem. Any questions on this backup and restore? Okay. Next topic is which I'm going to talk about, the Jenkins command line. Okay, so Jenkins command line is again very powerful tool which you can help use to automate the automation using Jenkins. So if you go to the manage Jenkins, there is one option called Jenkins CLI. Click on it, and you see that this is the way you can start doing it. So now look at this here. Here, all these commands, if you click on that, you have a hell lot of each commands, you have explanations given how to use it and all. And now, so Jenkins CLI will work with there's a jar called Jenkins CLI. So basically, jar to work, you need to have a Java, and then CLI you have to download. So from where you can download the Java jar, just click on this and you can get it. So what I'm doing right now, I go to OPT directly in the same machine. You can do from any machine, problem, but here I'm doing the same machine. Mkdir command cmd, mkdir cmd. In cmd here, I go here and what I do now, I download. So wget this jar file, I got it. Now I got the jar file. Java is already installed in this machine. So now this command will be run first. Okay. So here you see that Java -jar Jenkins CLI. What you can do, you can set this path in this path in the path also, environment variable also, so that can value access and all. If you can set it up very well. But right now, this IP address, let me check if the IP address is public. And you see it's a public IP address, so I can use it. Now I just run it and see first command. Now let's say any other commands which you can do that. So let me run it here. Let's say you want to delete a job. Now let me delete the job. Where is the delete job? Here. So if you see that delete job, it asks for this format. Deleting the job asks for this format. Okay, same thing. Till here everything is common. After that command and which job you want to delete, you can put the range also, but right now not range. Here job. So what is the job name? You have it DDD. This is a job name I want to delete. So DDD. Okay, and this command. Now you will get some error which will ask you for authenticate, because here anonymous is missing. That means the access, as per the access, anonymous access is missing. So you have to authenticate. So before running this command, you have to log in. So how to log in? So that instruction is, again, you can find it over there. Make a CLI, and there's an option here which is called HumanMI. Here it says reports your credentials and permissions. So here you have to log in. So let me log in using HumanMI, and okay, authenticated as an anonymous. That's not a good thing, because I do not want it to log in as an anonymous. So what I do, I just log out. I want it to log in as a, okay, error, some error has come. Logout command, let me check. Log out. See, logout command. And again, if you see that here, it's very simple. It did not work actually. Okay, if you look at this here, this command got deprecated. That means this command got removed. Here also, if you see that logout, this command got deprecated. It will not work. In fact, login will not work. Okay, so what to do in order to set the login? So these are command line options also. So first thing, let me do help. Okay, I can pass the user ID and password. So here, what I can pass, server address is passed. Here I can check this. -s is there. SSH I can pass. -i I can pass. E is not needed here. User here I want to. But if you see that here -user is for the specify user for the use of with SSH. Do you have anything with the password? I'm just checking it. Look at this. S HTTP SSH. Password, I'm looking for remoting. I for SSH private key. P no user. Auth user file and secret. Okay, so here it says if you use auth, then you can pass user and secret, and here you can specify the username and either password or API token also. So I have API token also, which I got it along with the Jenkins itself. First time it prompted you in the Jenkins installation, during the Jenkins installation, that is also there. But I have a password also. So now I think I can use this option. Now let me use -auth. Username is Rajesh Kumar, and colon password is Rajesh123. Okay, so this is the one I passed it. Now let me run it, this command, clear the screen, and you see authenticated Rajesh Kumar here. Now if I run this command, here because Rajesh Kumar has a permission to delete the job. Okay, and now again, okay, there's a problem here again. By default, if you pass this, it's considering as a anonymous, so that's not good. You can set it up again here. So let me set here itself. Okay, and now again I am passing this command. Okay, range is required. So here if you look at this, delete job, delete job. Here it says you put the command which is delete job and value. Okay, what I'm using, delete builds. Okay, see here, this is a mistake which I did. I'm trying to delete the builds. So in the build, if I want to delete the builds, that means this is the build. This is the build which you will have a build history, which I have not given. Only the job I have given. So that's the reason it's wrong. But I wanted to delete the job itself. So the command will be different. Okay. So now that I tried wrong command. So here delete job will work here. So here the command is delete job and the value of the job name. So here I just do delete job and the value is DDT and simple. Clear the screen. And this time it got deleted. See here, no error has come. Refresh this Jenkins and see no jobs is there. So this is the way you can work with command line options in Jenkins. Any doubts, any questions? Jenkins command line. Prakash, Suresh, any doubts? Okay.
No, Rajesh.
Okay. After that, I'm going to talk about the plugins. So which plugin you should use, which plugin you should not use. So basically it's decision which you have to take it. Okay. Here I cannot help you. So if you want, let's say if you want some functionality, you have to decide which plugins you want to use and which plugins you don't want to use. So there is one portal which is called Jenkins.io. Okay. Now here you have a list of categories and here you have a plugins. Basically, if you find the Google, that will be better. But if you look at this here, browse category, platform related plugins, user interface related plugins, administration related plugin, source code management, build management, all these plugins are there. These are the plugins which got recently introduced. These are the recently updated. These are the trending. So you only can take a decision which plugin you want, which plugins you don't want. But again, while deciding the plugins, you have to take care of the some of the things which is, let's say, uh, the plugins should be very old or not old, then at least it should be a year old. That plugin should be having, uh, right number of installs, right number of ratings, and every month or so on, every 2 month, developer of the plugin should be updating the plugins. So these are the practices what you can see that. So if you look at this is one of the plugins here. Mailer plugin is one of the most installed plugin in Jenkins. Okay, and here it says minimum requirement is this one. Okay, here this many number of time it got installed. This is developed by Daniel Beck. Okay, again this is the prerequisites what you have, command line launcher, this, that, and all the information about the plugins which you can read it, how to use, what is all about, all this information. This is important. Okay, change log, how frequently this plugin is being changed. So if you look at the history of the changes, this plugin is being modified since 2013. So you can consider this plugin is like one of the good plugin. Why? Because it's been consistently being modified, and hopefully in future too, this plugins will be modified. Okay. So now these are the things which you can do that. Now it's completely upon your requirement what plugins you need, what plugins you don't need. But if you want the my list of the plugins which I'm having and which I recommend or which I have used in my sessions or something, or work duration during the work, then I have used this one. Plugins, where is this? So here, use full Jenkins plugin. So this is the list of plugins which you can look at this. These are the list of plugins which basically uh, I like it and I recommend everyone to look at it also. Okay. So again, one more important thing which here I want to tell you. Let's say you know that how to install the plugins. It's very easy. So these updates will give you the what are the plugins which needs updates. Available will give you the what are the plugins which is not installed but you can install. Here this will give you what is the plugins which will install. But here advanced tab, here you can set up the proxy. So for example, if your organization is having the proxy for the internet, so you and if Jenkins need the internet, you know that because to installing, updating, upgrading, everything you need an internet. Jenkins need to connect to the internet, and if Jenkins is not able to do that, you can set the proxy here, and then Jenkins can talk to the internet. That's one thing. Second thing is like if you have developed any plugins, then the plugins in the Jenkins will be using HPI. Again, there's a lot of document in a Google which you can refer it. If you are a developer of plugins, you can develop your own plugins also. And if you have developed, you have to have this HPI file, okay, and we call it Hudson plugin installer. Okay, so this plugin you can install using choose file and locate the file and then you can get it done. So that is also possible. You can also manually update the site. So basically here this is the plugin center where the updates will be updated automatically. So here just submit and then here available tab and everything will be clear. So these are the things you can do with the plugins, more or less like a self-driven. So here nothing much can be done. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear? Okay,
Yes,
now
Rajesh, please.
let's talk about the node. Okay, so how to connect, how to have a nodes of Jenkins. So let's understand a little bit of this concept first. I don't know whether I covered in the previous session or not. So it's like this: when you install Jenkins, you you get two component. One is server and one is a node, okay, which is called master node. Now if you want to go and look at this here, manage Jenkins and manage node, see master. So everything whatever you do is been done in the master node. Okay, but this has some limitation because you cannot do more builds. Let's say you need a more builds to be running parallelly and this server is not capable. So what to do? So these servers can add a more node also. You can add a more node also. So you can add a window node, you can add a Linux node, anything you can add it. So basically here you can distribute the load of the builds or whatever the job you have configured in order to run it. Okay, so you can distribute as many times you want it. You can add as many times you want it. So now what I'm going to do, very simple thing, I'm going to add one Linux node. Okay, and I'm going to add one Windows node. Okay, so first thing, in order to add a Linux, you need IP address, username, you need a password or key. Okay, and one is workspace location where the build happens. If you look at this each job, let's say I'm creating the job, one dummy job, dummy. Okay, freestyle project. Okay, just here shell script mkdir test. Okay, yeah, save it. Now build. Now this is the one of job created just for the demo, and now see build is successful. Change console output, and this is what I'm talking about. So basically this is what I'm talking about. So here workspace location has to be there. This workspace location is basically your nodes workspace location. So if you go to Jenkins, manage Jenkins, manage nodes, master, configure. See here, this default is the path which I showed you. So because there is no path as of now, why? Because this is a default node, but anytime you add any additional nodes, you have to give the workspace also. So now what to do? So now let me get one machine which is Linux, launch instance. Okay, here one machine is sufficient here. Okay, this machine. So basically prerequisite of this machine is like node Linux. Prerequisite of this machine, like this machine should be having the Java installed. That is prerequisite, because here what happens, there is one utility called slave.jar. Okay, slave.jar. Okay, which runs in the each of the node. Okay, each of the node. Okay, which keeps pinging with the server. Okay, so slave.jar is the one which is jar files which need a Java. Okay, so for that, what I'm going to do, I am going to access the machine first using my key. Okay, and then I'm going to install the Java. So it's RHEL, so EC2-user. I'll become a root, and to install the Java, again I can refer my same notes, which is this one, installing the wget. Okay, and then downloading the Java file, JDK file. And after that, I'm going to install the RPM Java installed. After that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create one directory, which is workspace, which would be my workspace in that particular node. So usually you can do in the OPT and give the permissions and all, everything you can do that. But it's up to you where you want to do that. So I'll go here, cd opt, and here I'll create w Jenkins -ws. Now here you can give this directory should be owned by Jenkins user, but unfortunately Jenkins is not added here. So what I'm going to do, quick workaround, which is not good practice, chmod 777. That means user, others, and group, everyone got the access. So Jenkins user of course will get the access as part of the others. But you should do one thing, you should create a one user Jenkins, and this directory should be owned by the Jenkins user. That's a way you can do that. So now this is the directory which I have got it. So I have got almost all the ingredients which I needed. The username is ec2-user, and IP address is here. This is the one. Okay, IP address is this is the one. So now I got it. I don't have a password, but I have a keys which I can copy it. So now let me set it up. So I'm going to set up a new node here. So new node, name it Linux. It's a permanent node. Okay, and give this workspace location, which is here. I'll put it here, and SSH through SSH, because the Linux, so you need a host IP address. Now you need a password or keys. So here I can add it one Jenkins. I don't have a password, I have a key, so I'll go for this one SSH username with the private key. And here username is ec2-user. I don't want to locate the key, but I have to insert directly. So what I can do, I can insert directly also. So I have a keys here, em file, which I'm going to give it. You can insert the password also, it's not a problem. So I put the key, I give some description here, and click OK, and select the one here. Now everything set it up properly. This host key verification strategy, it's like SSH related host key verification. I will disable it right now. It's not needed, and save it. Done. Now it's a cross sign. Click on it and launch the agent. Now it's launching the agent. It's connected. Everything is cool. No problem. And now you see that slave.jar has come. Now if you look at this, slave.jar has not come here, but the remoting.jar has come. So what could be the reason? So probably in the recent days, the slave.jar, the release which I'm trying here, the Jenkins, they have renamed the slave.jar with the remoting.jar. Okay, so that's information in when I am not having, but they have renamed it. I can see it. So they have renamed it for some reason. So if you see that slave.jar to remoting.jar, and here maybe that remoting.jar may be having more functionality. You see here, agent executable remoting.jar is a named agent jar or selection in Jenkins. So basically renamed. Maybe they might have added some more functionality to that. So it could be a chances for that. Okay, so remoting.jar is now, you can call it. So now you see that here my agents are added. Now what to do? Now you want to execute in Linux or you want to execute in master, it's up to you. I will come back to this, but here I will add one Windows. So now it's the same way. You can add a new node, and here I can do Windows permanent, click OK, and here launch agent via SSH or launch agent via execution of command on master. So Windows option is not coming here. So basically Windows option, again I'm telling you, Windows options will come here only if you enable something in the one admin section. So what are the things we should enable? So let me do that. So go to the Jenkins, manage Jenkins, and there's one option called configure global security here. And here what you have to do, here you have to enable JNLP. Actually, by default, if you install a TCP port for JNLP, because remember, very simple concept. Jenkins, the node which I added, which is this one, I added using SSH protocol. Now, Windows does not work with SSH protocol. It works with TCP protocol. Okay. So now in order to enable the TCP, what you have to do, either you have to fix this or random port. Okay. So I'm going to click random and save it. Okay. Now if I go to the manage nodes, new node, select Windows, and here permanent agent. Now if you see that here you have got the web start, launch agent via web start. So that is the one which you can try to connect with Windows. Okay, so that is the one. One more thing, it should come Windows. One more option should come here, but I'm wondering why it did not come. So let me check. So I have enabled random ALS. I don't think so. There's a problem here because everything has been taken. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let me add the Windows now. So what I can do, I can go configure new nodes, Windows, permanent agent, click OK, and now instead of here, I'll go to web start. Start remoting, everything is done, and here remote directory. So Windows, what I can do here, go to the D drive. I created one directory which is called Jenkins. It's already there, I guess. Yeah, it's there. But I will create one more directory, Jenkins 1. Okay, same thing. Now I click on it here and put it that here, and everything is okay. Custom, that's not needed right now. Save it. Now this command you have to run in the Windows. Okay, this command. So now I go for CMD. open with administrator and run this command. Okay, so now agent.jar is not there, so what you have to do, you have to go and download the agent.jar. So agent.jar is a Windows, yeah. So what I'm going to download this agent.jar by clicking here, save and derive Jenkins 1 agent.jar. I copied the same directory. Now I'm in the same directory, d Jenkins, and running this command. Okay, so Java is installed in my things. Now agent.jar is added. It's a GNLP port is connecting to the TCP. Now you see that it's almost done. Just a few more seconds. I'm connecting my Windows host machine itself, the AWS Jenkins installation. So now it's done. Now I go here, refresh. It will take some time to come. And from here, Tank Protocol JNLP Connect is handshaking. Okay, this is the port number, agent port. This is the IP address. Random, because of the random, this port has been taken. You can fix the port also. That is not a problem. And now it's connected. So the moment you see info connected, then this error should go. So go to the nodes. Now after a few seconds, this error will go automatically. Okay, so just we'll have to see that. So now this is the way you can add Linux node and Windows node. Any questions so far? Any questions so far on the adding nodes?
No, it's okay.
Okay, so now how can you use this node? So basically there's a two ways you can use the nodes. Okay, one is like you can use individual node, okay, one node you want to use it, or you want to use as a load balancer. That means multiple node, whichever is available. Okay, so there's a two condition, ABAILABLE. Okay, so whichever is available. So if you want to go for the select the individual out of three, so you have to do one thing. Go here, dummy, configure, and now the moment you add a nodes, these options will be enabled. Okay, earlier this options was not enabled, so now it will be enabled. Here it says restrict where this project can run. Now you can run in the Linux. Okay, you can run it. And console output, look at this, in Linux it ran remotely on Linux, or similarly you can assign Windows or something like that, provided your command should work. But here yeah, it will work. mkdir is a very simple command, will work in the Windows also. So I can go and say put it in Windows here and build. Now let's look at this, the directory got created or not. Workspace, dummy, there's a failure actually. What is a failure? mkdir jnp cannot run. Okay, so there's a problem here. Here it says, if you go here, configure job, here I'm executing the shell, which will not execute in command is correct, but shell is not correct. So what I'm going to do here, Windows batch command, same command, Windows. Now it will run, and you see directory has been created. So this is the way you can do that individual node. But what about, okay, I want something to be run whichever is available. So what to do? So in that case, Jenkins has a load balancer functionality also through the labels. So what to do? Very simple. Go to the Jenkins, manage Jenkins, and give a manage nodes. And right now you see that Linux and master. Both are Linux based. Both are RHEL. Okay, and this is a unique window. So what I do, go to the master, and here I create configure label RHEL. Okay, this is the label. You can give any label separated by comma. RHEL, Linux, all these thing labels you can create. So I given these two labels, save it. Now you see Linux, if I click, I get only one node, which is Linux. Okay, because and RHEL also same. Okay, on RHEL, wait a second. Labels Linux, you got, okay, there is a problem here. Let me fix it. Go to the manage Jenkins, manage nodes, Linux, configure. Here label, here it should come RHEL. I'm giving RHEL and save it. Okay, now again nodes and master RHEL I have given, configure RHEL. Okay, save it. So here both of these Linux and master I given the label as a RHEL. So what I can do, click on it. And you see RHEL, if I click, I get the two nodes. I should get the two nodes, but right now I'm getting only one node. So I have to do something here. Just a second. Let me check one more time. Go to manage, master, RHEL, save it. Master should come. Master is not coming. For some reason, RHEL is showing only one node. Master is not showing. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me modify this one also. Let's call this guy as RHEL. Just it's not RHEL, just but I'm trying this functionality. Save it and click on the RHEL. Okay, now it's fixed actually. So it took some time, but now it's fixed. So what I can do, I can fix now. So here Windows is not RHEL, so configure and save it. I don't know why it did not happen that time, but it should take it immediately. So now if I click RHEL labels, it should go and give me two boxes. So now I have a two boxes. Similarly, if you match the labels with the multiple nodes, you get the more nodes here. Now, whichever is available, let's get it done. So how to do that? Go to the job again. And instead of passing the node name, here you have to pass the label name, which is RHEL. Now it can execute any one of those which is available. So save it, build now. Now again this will fail because why? Because here Windows is not there. So here what to do? Configure, build, shell, mkdir xrr, save it, build. Now it can take any nodes which is available in the RHEL. Now if you see that it's taken Linux, it may take because it's from RHEL, it has taken out. So this is the way also you can do the load balancing, whichever is available, it can be possible to use it. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Prakash, Ram, Suresh, Vibhuvan.
So, Rajesh, I'm having one question. So, I want to know, is this like, is it continued Jenkins, or it will be, it has started like from the scratch? So I started in between, so I'm not sure the node part is like in the starting, or it is previously done in some other day. So I want
Okay,
to know
so
that.
the previously when I attended this session, I asked like which of the topics has been done. So people have confirmed like all the topics have been confirmed except the Jenkins advanced. So I started Jenkins advanced. When did you attend this session? When you enrolled for this session?
I attended only two sessions, like
Okay,
one was Yeah. Last two sessions,
Okay, so
Maven
actually,
and
yeah. So don't worry about that. For you, it will be that it will be fresh batch. So I think by today evening, you'll be included in that batch. Okay.
okay. Thanks. It will be helpful. Yeah.
Suresh, Prakash, any questions? Okay. Okay, so now last point, which is as part of the Jenkins advanced topic, Jenkins pipeline using pipeline plugin. Okay, so I might have showed you many pipeline in past also, and if you go to the devopsschool.com/video, okay, now here video, and here if you go to the Jenkins, oh no, sorry, video is here. Okay, video is here. Okay, now here also if you see that some pipeline I've been talking about here in this video, and if I go to Jenkins specific video, here also I've been talking about some videos here. So pipeline, but here also let me talk about the this time not build pipeline which I talked about in this one, but this time let me talk about the pipeline plugins. Okay, so what to do? So Jenkins pipeline plugin is a very powerful plugin, and here you can create simple way. You can jobs, create jobs and pipeline using code. That is a very powerful functionality. Now, how to learn this? So there's a very nice book actually, which is there in pipeline. Okay, this is a nice book which you can study, and it has everything. But as you have you have attended this training, so I must have to tell you what you have to do. So basically, it's not very difficult if you get started. Very simple. In the build pipeline, remember I had created very simple thing in the build pipeline plugin. I have created multiple jobs. So I created code or plan or build or UT, package, deploy, all this kind of job I created and I linked it together, right? I linked it. So if you click on the build, UT will be taken from the UT, pack will be taken from the pack, deployment will be taken. So now in the build pipeline plugin, I used to call build one. Okay, build and automatically everything will be set. Now in this session, I'm going to talk about the pipeline. So what you have to do, you have to write a code. Write a code where in a Jenkins file. Okay, there's a file called Jenkins. If you look at this, if you read it, you have to write in Jenkins file. Now the question is, this code which you are going to write in Jenkins file, what would be there? So now it's not very difficult to understand. Let me show you the one thing which you can do it now. So now let's say I have a one source code. Let's get the source code, and source code is here, github.com. And which one? I think you are familiar with this project, so let me use this project itself. Now, what are the goals I want to? So I want to build, after that UT, after that packaging, and after that I want installation. So these are the 4 goals in I'm going to call in Maven. It's a Maven goal. So what are the goal names? So compile, UT will be test, package from the package install. So these are the 4 goals for pipeline I want to build it. So this is a specification I have to write in Jenkins file. What to do? You have to go to the Jenkins, new item, and this time I have to try this one. Look at this here, pipeline. Here it says orchestrate long running activity that can span multiple build agent, suitable for building pipelines formerly known as a workflow and or organizing complex activities that do not easily fit in these freestyle job types. Yeah, configuration, I mean, its description is a little bit complicated. Let me make it simplify here. I am going to make it Sunday pipeline. Okay, now click on the pipeline, click OK, and now you know that all these options, so I don't want to talk about. Directly jump to the pipeline. Here you have to write and you have to look at the Jenkins file. Jenkins file you can look at via 2 ways. Look at this here, pipeline script, which you have to write the script here itself instead of Jenkins file, or if you have a Jenkins file from the SCM, that means Git or Subversion or anywhere, you can look at it. So it's up to you. Right now I don't have any Jenkins file. I do, maybe I'm having some examples. Let me show you if I don't remember basically. So let me see if I have some examples. Jenkins file example. Jenkins file. No, it's not there. Okay, it's not there. So here what you can do, very simple. I'm going to create new one. So here I'm going to create from the script. Now here is just some samples are there. So I'll just copy one of the sample. Look at this. This is the one I copied. Oh, it's not coming good. So here it says here three jobs is there. Build pipeline, we create a job. Remember, here we create jobs like a build, UT, pack, deployment. So this is, here you have a job which is called stage preparation. So I'll name it build. So I'll name it build. This is a build. I'll name it UT. Okay. Others I'll do one thing. Preparation, I'll let it be. It's a sample program. Here preparation, I'll let it be. Build, and then here I will add one more stage. Okay. Now I will name it UT. UT, and here I will name it one more stage, and here I will package. Okay, cool. So here the compilation will happen. Clean compile. Okay, and in the UT test, clean test, and package, and now results, anything. Now if you look at this here in my program, I have 5 jobs. 1 job, 2 job, 3 job, 4 job, and 5 job. Let's discuss one of these. Here it says if Unix, then run this command. If else Windows, run this command. Simple. Okay. Now in this, here if you look at this preparation one, here you are setting MVN home. This is a fixed variable. Define MVN home is equal to tool. Now tool means whenever you get a tool, then blindly you come to the tool section. Okay, come to here, save it, come to the tool section. Where is the tool? Manage global tool configuration. This is a tool. And now here, anything which you can see that here, that is your tool. So now, which is your tool name of M3? M3 is equal to Maven home. You see, being used. Maven home here, 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 everywhere is being used. But now M3 is your name. Okay, let me tell you, this M3 Maven tool must be configured in the global configuration. So M3 is a name where you can configure. Click here, set M3. It can be any name, you can give it M4 also, anything which you like it. I select the one, save it. So here I have given M4. So here I keep it 1.4. That is installed. Okay. Now this project I have no idea what exactly. So I'm going to place with my project. My project is here. So now here is very simple. Git checkout, that means check out this one. Set the M4 and use it everywhere. For the Windows, for the Linux, for the Windows, for the Linux. And this is a JUnit file displaying the results, and this is archiving the job. So everything is done. Now copy all these programs, configure pipeline, and save it and build. Now see, this is a pipeline you are building through the what is it? Scripts. But there is a failure here. If you look at this, 7 is got failed. Console output. If you look at this, Git is not there probably. Yeah, the Git is not there. So now you have to install the Git. So yum install Git. Okay, now I'm installing the master node itself. So hopefully if it is running on the master, where it run, let me tell you, it run in the Linux. So Linux, this is here. So yum install. Okay, so I've just installed them both the branch, both the nodes. Okay, now it should not fail. So go here and build now. So first pipeline got failed, second will be pass. Now it's taken. See, preparation, one pipeline, one view. Preparation after that, it's taking time. See here, it's checking out. Preparation will be over in some time. Yeah, it got over. Now installing the Maven, it will take some time actually to build it. Okay, so it will take 2 to 3 minutes because it's the first time building, so it will take. So this is the way you can also use pipeline plugin to script the Jenkins file and generate the jobs as you want it. And this is, I must tell you, it's a very powerful thing. Okay, very powerful thing. So any questions which you have right now? Any questions? Any questions, guys? Prakash, Suresh, Ram, Tribun. Okay, some of the options which I'm going to talk about, Ram, Jenkins, manage Jenkins. Here we did talk about configure system, global security, credentials, global tool configuration, reload, manage plugin, and one of the options also you can do. And Jenkins CLI also we talk about, manage Jenkins also we talk about, users also we talked about it, thin backup also we talk about it. But if you want to shut down your job, if you don't want that any user should be triggering a new job and you want to make it for the maintenance, you can prepare for the shutdown. And one more thing, script console. Basically, if you can also do the Groovy programming. Okay, so here you can attach the Groovy programming if you are doing the things. If you want to automate greater amount of things, you want to replace hundreds of jobs and do many things actually. So Groovy programming is also possible. So here for the Groovy programming, I have one repository created here. You can look at this. So here you have a lot of programs of the Groovy which can help you out to implement the Groovy one. Here right now, any Groovy program, let's say you want to list out all the plugins what you have installed in the Jenkins. This is the Groovy program which you can run here, right? This is this sample program I'm just showing you. Run it. Okay. Now these are the plugins which you have installed in your system. Now, if you want to attach some Groovy program, then you can use the plugin which is called DSL. Okay, DSL. Others you can type something like that. Jenkins, how to attach Groovy program. Okay, and you will get many plugins, not one plugin. Again, this is a Groovy plugin also, which will help you attach. Jenkins script console also will help you pipeline some of the things also you can try. DSL plugin also is a very good. DSL Groovy plugin is also good. I like this one. So a lot of things you can do that if you want to do that things in the Groovy programming language also. Okay. Any other questions what you have right now? See, pipeline is built now. Okay, so now I believe there's no questions, so I'm going to wrap it up this session, and we're going to meet up in the next session for the new topics, whichever it is, and accordingly we'll take it up further. Okay.
Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Want to study further? Subscribe to our paid membership to get a deep dive into each and every topic. Do look out for more videos in our playlist and subscribe to our DevOps School channel and hit the bell icon to learn more. Keep learning.